now available in paperback and e-readers. Isis, Revenge of the Cyber Goddess. The goddess next door takes on the threat of a deadly digital diva driven to destroy the world in this action-packed, all-new Isis series adventure. Get Isis, Revenge of the Cyber Goddess featuring a bonus pin-up and the other 2 books in the Cyber Goddess saga at online bookstores everywhere today. One of my viewers wanted me to talk about how the images in media have an effect on the black mind. And in an email he sent me, he told me about how he noticed how white supremacy uses images to affect the way we see ourselves. Now, this viewer noticed in a lot of advertising that the white male is often featured very prominently, while the black male is oftentimes featured in the background of a lot of advertising. And this is something I noticed when I was very young as related to a lot of media. I often noticed that a lot of these images we see out here oftentimes promote the concept of white supremacy on a subconscious level. And the way they do it subconsciously is by presenting that white male at the forefront as the lead or the center focus of the image. And this type of media, it has an effect on everybody's mind because it conditions them to believe that the white person is supreme, the white person is the leader, the white person is the most attractive, and the white person is the most ideal that you should aspire to be. And oftentimes when you see media like this, they will feature that white person in a prominent picture, part of the picture. Meanwhile, the black person will be featured in a background part of the photo. And this also is meant to try to condition your subconscious mind to believe that black people are less than, because the whole idea of placing the black person in the background is designed to make you believe that the black person is number 2 or number 3 and is placed in a part of the picture where you don't see them in any sort of significant fashion. Now, in addition to making the black person appear to be secondary in a photo or an image, they oftentimes go out of their way to try to make the black person in the image appear to be less attractive. Because oftentimes when you see a piece of media out here, whether it be a magazine ad, a TV commercial, a movie, or a TV show, they will always feature a less attractive black person to make the white person appear to be more attractive in comparison. Now, in a previous video I called An Imitation of Life of Ghostbusters 2016, I went into detail about this as related to the 1934 cinematic classic Imitation of Life, because in that film we clearly see how the white person's image is elevated by the more attractive Claudette Colbert being placed next to the black woman Louise Beavers, who played the mother of Peola. Now, Claudette Colbert was the ideal of white female beauty, and she was a thin, slender, attractive white female. And next to Louise Beavers, who was obese and had a bit of a masculine build, this made Claudette Colbert appear to be more attractive in comparison. And the same thing is done in many images of black men. They will go out here and they'll have this extremely buff white guy, but then they'll go out here and get either a wiry, skinny black guy to stand next to him, or they'll get a big, fat black guy to stand next to him, so that when you compare the two images, the white man appears to be more attractive in comparison, and he's considered to be the ideal. Meanwhile, the black person is presented as somebody you shouldn't aspire to be like. And there are also other things that they have done, like they'll take a willowy white blonde and they'll put her in a bikini next to a black girl with a natural hair and a one piece. And again, they'll do this because they want the white female to appear to be more attractive in comparisons. But these types of media are the standard for mainstream media because mainstream media is owned by white supremacist businesses, and these businesses, their goal is to elevate the white image as the ultimate ideal because those are the core customers they're trying to target, and that's the core customer they're trying to appeal to. And the way they go out of their way to appeal to that white customer is by showing you your diversity passively, but then aggressively elevating the white image. So they don't want you to see the black man as the most attractive person in the media that they're paying for. So they're going to go out of their way to elevate their own white people, white man and white woman as the ideal, and then downplay the beauty of a black person in comparison. And this is something that I noticed again back when I was very young, and I've learned to understand that if these people, again, like I've said before in many videos, those who control the money control the media, and those who control the media control the narrative. And this is why we have to go out here and make our own media, and we have to make media that elevates our own image. Because when I go out here on the SJS Direct imprint and I commission covers from artists like Mike Williams, I go out here looking to, elevate the image of black men like John Haynes and make them the center focus of the story. I also do this with characters like Isis and Easting. The whole goal is to elevate the image of black men and black women and show us as the ideal and show us that we are attractive and we are the center of the story. And this is why it's important to go out here and support new black media, because it's only in new black media, like books like the John Haynes series or the Isis series or the Easting series, that you're going to see black images elevated to a high level, and you're going to see the black person seen as somebody at the center of the story, and in that story you see that black person as important. This is something that I would again study in images in film, TV, media, and I would notice all the time, and the viewer is starting to notice how this affects your subconscious and your conscious mind. Because if you imbibe a lot of this kind of media, it does have an effect on your mind. And instead of you seeing black as beautiful, black as attractive, and black as something to aspire to, you start to see white as beautiful, white as attractive, and white as something to aspire to. And you start thinking that the only way for you to have success is to be accepted by white people or to get the attention and approval of white people. And that's what happens when you imbibe too much mainstream media that's owned by white oligarchs. You will start to see only white as the ultimate goal. And if a white person doesn't say that it's good, you don't see a value in whatever media is out there. And I've seen this with a lot of the black nerds out here. They don't see a value in black creator-owned properties like I own and many other black comic creators own. No, they see a higher value in a black character created by a white comic creator like a Stan Lee or a Jack Kirby, like the Black Panther or the Falcon. They see those black characters as having value because they're connected to that white person. But that black character created, like John Haynes, created by a black creator and is black owned, they go out of their way to dismiss and devalue because they only see value in something that is connected to white people, and because the covert contract that they want to have is, I want the product that's connected to the white person because this may possibly lead to me getting white acceptance. But the whole thing about reading a lot of black media and imbibing a lot of black media that's positive is, instead of you seeking white acceptance, you start to see value in black, and you start to see a worth in being black, and you start to see the value in things like black beauty, a value in your natural hair, a value in black pride, and a value in the things that make you black. So that's why it's important to go out here and support black media like the SJS Direct Imprint and many of the other black creators out here, because that's, if you imbibe a lot of that media, it's going to affect your subconscious, and it's going to make you start saying, hey, black is beautiful, black is intelligent, black is incredibly attractive, and you're going to see value in being black. And because when you imbibe a lot of this white media, this is one of the reasons why we have so many black girls out here going out here and sewing a white woman's blonde hair in her head, bleaching her skin, and why we have so many black males out here doing things to effeminize themselves, because they want that white acceptance, and they want to be liked by white people, and they want to be the ideal images that white people present as appealing. And oftentimes they will go out of their way to make our image ugly, and in some cases they'll even take an attractive sister or an attractive brother and try to ugly him up by putting him in clothes that don't fit right, and then putting a white guy in a tailored suit next to him to make him appear to be more attractive. And because some black people want white acceptance, they buy into these ID images and try to become these ideals, not understanding they're being set up for failure by imbibing these white supremacist images, and not understanding that these images are designed for you to follow this type of narrative, because this makes the white person feel comfortable. Because if the black person sees himself as less than, then that makes their world smooth. And because they have a black person who sees himself as less than, they feel more comfortable around him. But a black person who sees value in being black, sees value in black beauty, and sees a value in self, this makes many white racists extremely uncomfortable, because they are seeing a black person who's taking pride in their appearance, taking pride in themselves, and taking great care as related to themselves. So they don't really like seeing those type of images like I produce on the SJS Direct Imprint, on covers like on the John Haynes series or the ISIS series. Those type of images, those are the types that mainstream media does not like to see of black people, because they present an image, again, of black pride, and they present an image that shows you a value in self. But the mainstream media, they will always go out of their way to downplay the black image, because they want you to focus on the white image. Because if you're focused on the white image, then you're going to go out here and try to chase white validation and white approval, and you're not going to focus on black empowerment and black elevation. So they don't really want you to focus on black empowerment and black elevation and seeing the value in blackness. So that's why they come out with these white supremacist images with the white person at the center, the black person in the background looking raggedy, or the black woman looking like she wants to copy the white woman. All of this is done by design to destroy the black mind, and that's why you have to be very careful about the media you imbibe, because the media you imbibe, it bears fruit from the way you behave, because this media you take into you is what comes out in the real world. And that's why you have to be very careful about the media you feed yourself, because that media can make you healthy when you buy books like I produce and many other black creators produce, and give you a sense of self-worth, of self-value. Or you can go out here and imbibe this media, and then you wind up buying into stereotypes and living like a stereotype for the rest of your life. So this viewer who came from Africa, they wanted me to talk about how image affects black people. And there's a lot of social engineering going on with these images out here. When you see that white person at the forefront of the image, that is designed to show that the white person is number one. But that's why you have to go out and support black media, because in black media, the black man is number one, and that's why, and the black woman is number two. So that's why we have to be careful about the media we imbibe, because it has an effect on us psychologically, and that's why we have to be careful about what we watch, what we read, because that changes how we think. And if we read when we're watch the wrong media, it can have us thinking in an extremely dysfunctional fashion. And that's why it's important to feed our minds positive black media, because positive black media gives us a positive image of ourselves. Now, a viewer from Africa requested this video, and if you want to request a video from anywhere around the world, all you have to do is send me a donation to Cash App or PayPal by clicking the links in the description box. And if you want to try some of the positive media I present on the SJS Direct imprint, like the ISIS series, the E-Steam series, the John Haynes series, A Recipe for Success, the books of the Spinsterella trilogy, and the Thetas, along with my men's issues books, you can find all those books on Amazon.com in paperback and Kindle format. You can also find them on Smashwords, the iBook Store, and Google Play. That's all I have to say for this video. You can comment, rate, and subscribe. Now available in paperback and Kindle Unlimited, E-Steam, The Sands of Time. It's action and adventure in ancient Egypt in this terrific teen time travel romance. Get your copy of E-Steam, The Sands of Time at your favorite online bookseller today.